Howdy, folks. Welcome, one and all. Just puttering around the shop, organizing stuff. How's everybody doing out there in whatever land? Let's see. There we go. Put all those extension cords in here. How's it going, everyone? I'm just organizing. I got 10 boxes in here. I don't know what's in them. So I want to see if I organize them a bit. 10 of these yellow boxes. And that way I will know what to bring up there, what to leave here, etc., etc. Let's see here. How's everybody doing out there today? Trying to do a little organization. This goes up there, this goes down here, this will go down here. Alrighty. You ever find yourself in a position with a bunch of stuff and not knowing where to throw it? Yeah, well, that happens. That's where I'm at. I gotta build some cabinets, but that's gonna happen when I get the new place. I mean, I've got cabinets all over here, but oh, this is nice. Goes up here. Oh yeah, I don't have the chat room on. Hang on a second, folks. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Hey, Tom. Trying to stay warm. Ooh, that's a rough one. I mean, not down here, obviously. I'm in shorts, and it's, you know, I could open the door and it's hotter outside than it is in here. But this is my my iron for laminating. Put that over here. These containers. They can also go. Gotta put. It's not easy organizing everything. You know, it's. I'm gonna start with a box to store stuff because, you know, I've got so many things. I was so busy last time I came down. Playing catch up and stuff because it was the holidays and my hobby boxes were, you know, everybody was on vacation, so I had to catch up. So I never got around to emptying out the boxes. You know, I was in a hurry when I came down. Or rather, when I packed everything up there, I was in a hurry. I just threw them in boxes. So I got 6 of these 10 boxes are just random, and now I gotta put stuff back in its place. It's just some of the stuff is garbage, some of the stuff is Well, it's okay. This goes here. Some of the stuff I just gotta, excuse me, I just gotta put it away. Let me find a better spot for this. This goes with this. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna need this. That's the problem. I put stuff outside to the. I put stuff to the side, and I never know where to find it again. All sorts of. Let's see what you got there. Hi. Oh, rub it in. Yeah. Sorry about that. Let's see here. All types of screws and nuts, and let's put them up here. That's the best place for now, because I don't want them in this box. Okay. Wire. This is a, I'll leave that in the tools, charging cable. Ah, this is handy, but see, some of the stuff is handy, but it's not handy right now, so I'm putting it all in a box to be stored away until. Basically, what's going through my head is, do I need to throw it away? Do I need it here for the next year or so? Do I need it stored away because it won't be? I don't want it. I want to remove it from my vision, and I won't need it for the build until after the warehouse is in place. Then because, like for instance. I've got these boxes that I had intended on when I wire my wireless camera to trees. These are waterproof boxes, so the connection is nice and watertight. Well, I don't need those until the very, very end of the build, because that's when I'll be putting up I'll put up the wireless cameras right away, but the ones on the trees, that's until the end. So that's an example of something that I'm not going to need until, stored in the warehouse. After the shop is built, take everything out of the warehouse and begin to organize it. Then I'll have it accessible by the end of the build. But I don't need it until then. So, these are random screws that I may or may not need here. So that's why I have them in this box. And there's some other stuff which is just garbage. Some of these things I don't know. Garbage. There's some wires. I might need wires. A stack of paper that belongs in my room, not here. So I'll remember to move it. Here's this is a piece of solder. I'll put it away here. I'll put it away because my solder pot is full. And this is solder for my solder pot. I'm not going to need it probably for the next, come on. We don't need solder pot for that long. All right, so miscellaneous stuff. This goes in here. all the rest of this stuff, basically, there's the start of my, this is one of the boxes that's going in the warehouse. So box number 1 is, well, done. Anything that goes in the warehouse from now on goes in there, at least the beginning of it. How are you, Rob? I'm just trying to sort through 10 boxes that I have. And the only bad thing about using the garbage can to stack your boxes is that when you have some garbage to throw away, you've got very, very little holes on the side here. All right, let's go with that. All right, what do we got here? Okay. Ah, good. See, this is handy. These are 2 fans that should have, I'm putting them on my desk because they're for, I don't know what they're doing in this box. It's supplies for my hobby boxes. Likewise, I just happen to have a couple extra drivers here. This goes with my drivers. They're already set too, so there it is. Next box I get, I have 2 oh, sorry, 3 extra drivers. Holy cow, these are, I gotta stop they're $30 a piece, so you know. Fan, another fan. How you doing, Paul? Welcome, welcome. I'll be popping in and my head in and out of the chat every now and then. If anybody would like to join me, I'll be happy to send you a link live if you don't mind being on camera or whatever and want to chat. Little by little, I'm emptying out my fridge here of Diet Cokes because one of them exploded. So I don't care. I'm taking it easy. Diet Coke washes away with water real quick. So as soon as I finish emptying it all out, because I'm not going to take everything out, clean up every can. Nah, just use them up. When I use them up, I mean, this is like my little shop fridge. All I got in there is Diet Cokes. When it's empty, I'll clean it out and reload it with Diet Cokes at a higher temperature. This is another security system that I have here. Let me leave this here just in case. Always good to have an extra mouse laying around. So I'll just leave that hanging there. Hey, can't believe I still haven't. I bought these things, they say heavy. I bought these stickers to use them for when I ship the motors. They're heavy. But I've yet to open them. Story of my life. Let's see here. Hey, how's it going, David? Yeah, no, I hadn't looked at the. I'm not ignoring you, David. Let's see. I'm at work right now. Oh, I just missed you is what I did because apparently you came in before Rob. Sorry about that. Hello, David. How are you doing? And no, I am a hoarder, so I'm working on it. Working on it, but TZ tape. Let me leave that here. Actually, let me put this in there. My office supply thing. That goes away. That goes away. That goes away. Yeah, that goes away. Yeah, I can. Bunch of zip ties, but I've got 2 packs. Tray liners. That goes away. So how you guys doing over there? Everything good? That's Carl. We got an empty box, folks. We got an empty box. Let's see. Almost. Let's see. Put the ProLink stuff there. And this goes to there. Okay, now we got an empty box. Not sure quite what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll find out. Okay, next one. Trying to organize everything as best as possible. You know how it goes. Oh, that's a heavy one. Let's see what junk I have in here. Okay. Let's see what I can do with these. These are frames. And been promising my mama an engraved picture frame for a while, and I haven't gotten around to it. So I brought some frames home in the hopes that I can get around to it. There's not that many round to it in this place. You know, this is one of those cartridges that I don't know. Let me see if my wife still has one of these. No, I don't think she has one of these. So, garbage. It's brand new. It's a toner cartridge. Anybody need a TN 250? It's an office mat. It's compatible with it's a Brother laser printer toner cartridge. I'm just gonna dump it. cheaper to buy it than it is to ship it, so kind of no point, right? Now I know what's so heavy. Bunch of hardware. Well, that's good, at least. That everything's as good as it's going to get for a while. Honda Owner's Manual for an engine. I know how to take apart an engine and put it back together. I don't need the Owner's Manual. No, these are good. I brought a bunch of these on purpose. These are, let me just throw them up here for now. Shelf brackets. My entire shop is these shelf brackets. So when I need one over here on this side, I'll take it over here. Oh, my dog is wondering what's happening here. Hey, Pooch, you want to come in? Well, you're going to ask to come out anyway in a few seconds. What's the matter? I block your way to the back with a box so you can't sniff out any lizards? Well, that happens. Yeah, you're a good girl. Let's see. We have a few parts here for awards. Get another little box here somewhere. All right, got cameras in it. That's got, oh, okay. I can take that one. There we go. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Yes. Hey, Mark, if you want to join me for a quick chat, I'll send you the link. It's I'm just here picking up. Nothing special. These two go inside to my engraver. This goes over here. Ooh, been looking for one of these and one of these. Another empty box, which is a good thing. That's two. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. We've taken care of 3 out of 10 boxes, folks. Let's see what the others have. This is definitely storage material. It belongs to the bottom of a box that I have. Holy cow. Stuff. See, this really hurts, right? This is like, it's $30. I always had a set of extra toner cartridges. This is for a different brother. It's for a color printer for brother. And the printer's just shot already. And I since have a new one. So I still have the old one laying around, but hopes of fixing it are just, so it's like, I hate to do it, but I got to throw it away, or sell it. But okay, let's sell it. Let's try to get $20 for it on eBay. But, the problem with selling is you got to actually get around to selling it. And that's a big problem. So looks like trash to me. Yeah. A lot of it is. Here are 2 power supplies, but they are 24-volt power supplies, which I cannot mix up with the 36-volt power supplies. But I am going to do something with this, and very soon. So I'm going to leave it here. That goes in there. Goes in there. Goes in there. Yeah, this is a 220-volt heavy-duty outlet extension, and I need it for my laser engraver. What'd you find back there? You found a good lizard there? Okay, good for you. There's no lizards in this place. She sees a shadow, and all of a sudden it's a lizard. Gloves. These are, I'll put them up there. These are zip ties. I got plenty of zip ties, but it's nice to have them in the right place. This is garbage. That is not. These are not. This is not. These are not. What you doing? Knocking stuff down? Okay, these go up here. Here, I'll do it the easy way, Mark. I'll just drop it right here. I get to choose who comes in, so it's not a problem of security. What's the matter, Pooch? What are you sniffing back there? Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Hey, it goes good. How are you doing today?
One second, let me make sure I hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Give me a sec.
It.
Yo, you're coming through my
All right.
turtle speakers.
I had to jump over and mute. I still had the had your stream going on the other side, so it's still running.
Cool.
I just muted it. So I had an echo and couldn't hear what I was saying, and then could hear everything I was saying.
So how's everything going?
Oh man, it's going good. Just fighting weather. Everything is great. What are you up to?
Well, I'm as far as the build is concerned. I mean, I'm my guys are churning out Javi boxes and I'm sending them out the usual, and I'm doing the painting and I'm doing the running the businesses, but I'm trying to get the building going so I can get the RV back on site so I can, be comfortable up there. As soon as I get the permit, I'm practically going to be up there pretty much maybe 350 days a year. Wow. Well, I have to because I got to build. I mean, I have to, do everything I can. And, but everything's on hold until I get the financing. And the financing has been, it's just been a bureaucratic issue, bureaucratic nightmare. Because what happens is first, I talked to a couple banks, and they said, no, we don't do owner builder financing. One of them actually pre-qualified me. Regions pre-qualified me and said, we don't do owner builder, but if you got a contractor, then here it is. Here's you're pre-qualified. That they use that word like as if it means anything.
Right.
Because you're pre-qualified, but now we got to get your credit references. What? In other words, all they did was just put the social security number in, seeing that I have a great credit score and have a nice day, but they never bothered to check my income or anything like that.
Right. They just confirmed you have a temperature somewhere approaching normal and that you actually breathe on occasion.
Which the income will fly. That's never going to be an issue. But the problem is then, okay, so now comes the problem with the contractor. Well, here's the thing. If I hire a contractor, I ran the numbers. It's going to cost me exactly $216,000 more. That's how much money I'm saving by doing 80% of the work myself.
See, now I thought you were a general contractor.
I was years back.
That's where it came from. Okay.
And for about 6-7 years ago, when I went into, actually about 10 years ago now, when I went into signage, I just let all my licenses lapse. I didn't keep up with the continuing education.
Now, don't you have a
we take the test and all that, but it was a nightmare because the issue with general contracting is you're working with large sums of numbers and you are basically working with big credit. In other words, you're putting, most jobs were like most jobs I did were in the $200,000 to $1 million scope. Right. And you have to basically have 10% of that in your pocket in order to do that. Because you know how bank draws work.
Sure,
they hold everything except, know. Now, granted, the bank is paying you and this and that. Then there's delays in the bank. Then there's the interest accumulating. Then there's the suppliers who need their money right away for stuff you are not going to get paid for a month or two.
Well, that's what construction loans are for.
Right. Well, yes.
Then it rolls over into a regular mortgage after.
The long and the short of it, when you're a business and you're handling 1 or 2 jobs, you could easily be in the hole for $200,000. And if for whatever reason the person doesn't decide to pay you, or the bank holds their draw or this and that, now you're on the line for that for the suppliers. So you're paying the suppliers. Understood. And pretty much there are times where I had to stop operating for a week or two until I could talk the bank into, hey, I can't pay my men because I had to pay my supply. You learn, and then you learn to hold back from your suppliers, and then you lose credit with them. It's a whole,
it's a juggling act.
I would not wish on anyone. which is why I went into painting contracting. It's
Uh-huh.
basically 1/5 the money, the income, but no headaches because basically they're paying me and the overhead is like
Yeah. Now you're the sub. You're not the GC. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So,
But anyway,
but don't you have a relative that's a GC?
yeah, both my brother and my father,
Well, there you go.
and that's wherein lies the problem.
Oh.
Okay, so here is phase 2 of my this back in November. I finally decided, okay, you know what? I'm not going to hire a contractor, but I can get my brother or my dad to sign off on it, which poses another problem because it's the same last name. So some banks don't want to deal with that, but I haven't come to that. I haven't crossed that bridge yet. My brother is licensed in 9 different states. Unfortunately, in Florida, he's not. He's
Okay,
been
so
working in
he's out.
Georgia lately. So that one's out the door. My dad, who's been licensed for, well, since 1972. How many years is that?
Coming up on 50.
Coming up on 50 years as a licensed contractor. No problem there, except, and I love my dad to death, but everything's got to be meticulous. Everything's got to be, and he is 77, 78 years old. So what the banks require is a construction breakdown. Okay, I did that. But now my dad has to redo the whole thing in his order because that's the way he works. He's set in his ways.
Okay.
And he does it in Excel. He does everything in Excel. He writes letters in Excel. He does bar graphs in Excel. Forget any other program in the world. Excel is the only program that he uses. Ever since the Lotus 1-2-3 days, and it was like pulling teeth. It was only when Lotus 1-2-3 closed that he was forced to go to Excel. If not, we'd still be using Lotus. Anyway, so what happens? So now I go over there, and his time is also, he's still working, so his time is scarce. His time for me is always, there, but you got people interrupting and this and that, so I gotta. And then my time is I mean, you guys see me here, taking my time, but during the day, most days, my time is very scheduled, very regimented. Like right now, I've got until 3:30. After 3:30, no more. I could take my time. I got blocks of time. But so anyway, coordinating his and my schedule to do something that I could do in an afternoon took us 2 to 3 weeks, which is just the breakdown. Then after the breakdown, we got the schedule. We got to come up with the schedule. Why is the schedule important? Because I have to know what I'm doing in what order. So we made a preliminary schedule, which is basically it takes 5 to 6 months to build a house. I mean, even with me, but you had to stretch that out over a year because of money concerns and draw and this and that. Well, bottom line is those documents took time, and finally, last week, I had the contract that I needed signed, the construction breakdown, the detailed, the construction schedule, all those things necessary for the bank. Finally, I just yesterday sent all, because now I have to compile all this stuff, and bank records and W-2 forms and income tax and
DNA test, everything.
Copy of the driver's license, for goodness sake. What else?
Turn your head and call.
The plans, of course. I had to send them the plans as well. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I got it all nice in one big folder. So now that I did it for one bank, and I'm waiting, I'm giving them a chance because it's a referral. It's a friend of a friend. If they don't come through in the next, I'll give them 2 weeks. At that point, I blanket all the banks.
Yep.
And at this point, because I already did that, but I did that with the construction to perm loan, and the best deal I could get is like 9%, which is.
And you tell them that you're blanketing the banks, that you are getting them into a bidding war. So if they want your business, come big, go big or go home.
Yeah, exactly. And You know, see, I've never done this particular thing before.
Well,
for my own house. So, well, let me ask your advice. Should I tell them that I'm blanketing the banks? Because
I wouldn't say something like that, but I would let it be known, just kind of, well, I got an appointment at this other bank to talk to them too.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
Because
that makes sense. Because I don't want to tell them, hey, you better go quick because I'm just about to hit everybody. If I do that, they're going to say, oh, well, if you're going to do that, then screw you.
Well, but see, the thing that a lot of these loan clerks, basically, they're not the loan officer, but what a lot of these mortgage people, even on business loans, construction loans and stuff like that, what they seem to forget is that when you go to them and say, I want to apply for a loan, they are at a job interview. You're the one that's in charge. Yes, you're asking for something, but you went to them, not somebody else.
Yeah.
And you can just as easy go to somewhere else, because believe me, this is how they get paid.
No, you're right. You're right.
If they don't make loans, they don't have a job.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So they're the ones that are at a job interview, not you.
Yeah, and then so basically, I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing. If like I said, if this guy doesn't, this guy's pretty proactive, so I have a feeling he'll come through. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to be blanketing because my deadline, my self-imposed deadline is April to start the job, one way or another. Okay. And the thing is, the other thing I found out about the USDA loan. Mm-hmm. I can get my rural property. Well, it is rural. It's my rural property qualifies for a USDA guaranteed loan, which basically means the bank doesn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, well, except by in name, but yeah.
If I can't pay, they pay. Which
USDA goes by population density. They checked your address, and it does qualify for USDA loan.
Yep, it does.
Because you can have houses right next door to one another, and one will qualify for USDA, and another one won't.
Yeah, and that's very similar to what happened here. See, I don't actually live in the town of Lady Lake.
Right.
I live basically adjacent to it. One of my property lines is Lady Lake.
Yeah.
The rest is unincorporated Lake County. And so so what happens? Lady Lake doesn't qualify because they're
well, even then it's a little bit shaky because like I say, it goes by population density.
Yeah. So and the USDA has a map.
Yes, and that map changes daily is what I'm getting at.
And I plugged in the address, and mine is no problem. My area, no problem whatsoever. I mean, at least for a while. So I want to secure that because that can knock off an extra maybe eighth or half a point even.
Back when I was selling real estate, we were right in the middle of a new construction deal. My buyers were buying a brand new house in a small subdivision that qualified for USDA financing.
Right.
And they were halfway through the permitting process. The contractor was waiting on.
Yeah.
And they were ready to start work when all of a sudden the new map came out from USDA and their house no longer qualified for USDA financing. That put everything on hold. They had to go out and get other financing, which meant a higher interest rate. They got it within like 2 weeks, but it still put everything off because it also put a hold on getting
that's that. That's the thing I don't want. I mean, let's put it this way. Regardless, I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get this taken care of, so I have the financing this year. Yeah. However, we move next year regardless of whether the house is built or not. I basically next year, my better of the 5 properties that I have up there, I'm basically in August of 2022. If God forbid I don't, see this through now and start this now, August of 2022, basically that family goes out, we go in, we stay at our rental property for a year, sell the house, and I mean, it's not going to be. It's going to be fast to sell the house in this market, and done. And then I just finance my own build and screw the banks. But it's a little frustrating. You know what's frustrating, and I should be used to this, but it's the waiting.
Yeah.
I hate waiting.
I'm with you there.
We're so used to a turnkey and everything. By the way, let me say hello to Frankie. Hey, Frankie, I just saw you come in.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Frankie?
It's just one of those things that with Amazon and everything else, we're used to. Hey, we order something, okay, it's here.
Right.
And I kind of, I mean, with the construction, same thing. I mean, it frustrated me just to wait 3 weeks for them to look over the plans. I drew up the plans, all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, every page, electrical diagram, plumbing, mechanical, down the board, structural, even the sectional layouts, the sectional views. I even gave them the product list and everything. All they had to do is basically stamp it. But obviously, they're on the line for it. They're going to charge me the full price.
Sure.
And well, it's still my design. So then their architect basically took them 3 weeks just to look it over.
Yeah.
The plans didn't change one iota. Stamped. Done.
There are people listening right now going, only 3 weeks? Man, you were lucky.
Well, yeah. The plans were basically masticated for them. So,
but it's the truth, especially when you're dealing with government agencies. Everywhere you leak, somebody's going to hang a bucket.
Oh yeah, and I haven't even dealt with the government yet because I have and I haven't. I mean, I've dealt with
Well, I'm talking about like planning and stuff. Yeah.
But when it comes to it, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I will be relieved once I submit those plans. I will be 10 times relieved once I get the permit. At that point, everything's the ball's in my court now. But I know that it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks for them to approve the permit because that's what they say the
minimum
time is.
Minimum. It runs about 2 months, around 2 to 3 months around here, depending.
Yeah. See, here in Miami, about 4 days tops. You can actually in 1 day, you can get an appointment within a week to have a walkthrough and walk the plans through. With you basically stay all day at the building department, but you walk the plans through, and you've got an entire residence passed that day. You're paying for the permit that afternoon.
We got nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing like that over there. There used to before COVID.
We got a guy
walkthroughs.
We got a guy at the counter that says come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then soon he says come back in 3 weeks. And then it's don't come back, we'll call you.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Well, what happens with me is here's the trick for me, at least what I found. They tell me it'll take no more than 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is I wait those 3 weeks. At that point, I start calling and say, hey, it's been over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's when they do it all in a day. That's what happened with my electrical plans. My electrical plans were submitted. All right. They said it would not take longer than a week. Okay. They're always done in 3 or 4 days, not longer than I just waited the whole week. When I called them back up, I could tell by the sound of their voice, they haven't even picked up the plans.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I see them here. Oh, they must not have. Oh, they're right here. I'll walk them through myself. And then she did that.
Yeah.
So, they feel bad when they promise you something and it.
Ours don't. They don't care. They figure they got you, and in a way they do. They got you over a barrel because you can't do nothing without their approval. I've told this story before, but our local Walmart here, right down the road from us, they wanted to tear down the building and build a new one. Until they found out how long it was going to take to get a building permit.
Right.
And how long it was going to take how expensive it was going to be to get a building permit. Now, we have building permits and we have renovation permits. A renovation permit, you can basically tear down most of the building and rebuild it. It was not only half the price to get a renovation permit, it was also about 2 weeks to get that renovation permit.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
what they did was they tore down the building except for one wall, and they tore it down to about a 2-foot tall stub.
Yeah.
And they based a whole new building off of that wall.
Oh, we've done that. We've done that before because renovations are a lot easier than building permits sometimes.
They
Yep.
bulldozed everything, dug up foundation, dug up footings, dug up slab, the whole thing except
Mhm.
that one wall, and knocked it down to 2 foot tall, and then based the whole new building off of that wall.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, it just kind of makes me happy that that all I'm doing is painting right now.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I'm fighting weather. You and I both agree that Sherwin-Williams is the paint to use.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored. So
Yeah.
I'm doing the Sherwin-Williams Everlast exterior.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
And-
I was looking at different. There's this guy. I really like him. He's called Project Farm. I don't know if you've ever seen his stuff. He tests
yes.
a bunch of stuff.
Yes, I have seen him.
And one of the things he tested was, now he didn't test Ben Moore, and I'm sorry about that because Ben Moore is also a very good paint. But Ben Moore is basically comparable to Sherwin-Williams, I know, from painting for years. The only thing is it's about $10 more a gallon. So,
Yeah.
But it's funny because he tested like numerous brands, and he did heat tests, he did wearing tests, he did light tests. I mean, he scrubbed, to see which one's more washable, which one lasts longer, which one covers in one pass, which obviously none of them do.
Right.
I mean, I don't care what you tell me,
Yeah, they'll advertise it as one coat coverage, and maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. But if you read the fine print on the label, it says recommend minimum of 2 coats.
Yeah. One coat coverage if you have a primer of the same color. Right.
Or you're going a dark color over a light color.
Yeah. Even then, there's no such thing. But,
I got all my trim. Well, I got one coat on all of the trim. I was out there yesterday. That's what I'm saying. I'm fighting the weather. Now, this Sherwin-Williams Everlast paint, you can use down to temperatures of 35 degrees. And yesterday it was in the 40s. Everything's great. Paint's flowing smooth. I'm putting the second coat on the trim, and it started snowing. Crud.
And it started what?
Snowing.
Ooh, yeah.
So, crud. So put everything away. And I'm not kidding you. I was back in the house 15 minutes. It stopped snowing. The clouds just parted, and everything was beautiful. I'm like, well, crumbs. So basically, the long answer to the short story is I have the second coat on 3/4 of the building. So, and now looking at it's cloudy, but it's not raining or snowing. But the temperature's been stuck at 30 degrees for the last 2 hours. So I'm just waiting for it to warm up enough to go out and finish the trim.
Yeah, one of the other guys here was talking about getting out of the cold. Tom
in Alaska. I met Tom. Tom drove down here. He has relatives that live not too far away from me.
Oh, Tom Conway?
Tom, yeah. So he drove down and was visiting those relatives, and we met up in a Costco parking lot and BS'd for a little bit,
That's cool.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Paul Stewart is asking me what colors I'm using. I'm using 2 PPG colors, but I bought them in Sherwin-Williams. The main body, I'll go ahead and show it up here, is that darkest color there. That's going to be the main shed color, the darkest one at the top.
You guys are lucky. I mean, unlucky, but you guys up in the colder states are lucky in the sense that you can use dark colors all you want.
Yeah.
I try doing something like that, my air conditioning bill will jump up $10,000 a year. Well,
You need to learn about a thing called insulation.
I have that insulation is but I want to be efficient.
That's why you need to learn about insulation.
Oh, no, let me tell you, I've learned more about insulation than I wanted to these past. I got a buddy of mine who's a mechanical engineer, right?
Mhm.
And so we were working on the figures on the energy calculations. He's also an electrical engineer. He electrical engineer, not like me, but not electronics engineer, but electrical engineer. And so we were talking about the energy calculations because it's a real complicated science, and because it's not just how much power are you drawing from all your water heater and this and that and this and that, but basically how many therms are going out, how many therms are going in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Based on the structure, based on the windows, what are the windows made out of? It is, what are the sizes? No, it's ridiculously intricate. But turns out, I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but turns out, see, I wanted a 3-ton unit for the bulk of the house and a 2-ton unit or 2.5, possibly 3-ton units for what I call the stop sign, which is basically the right side of the house, which is my bedroom, closets, bathroom, and Carrie's office. That side. Yeah. My shop I'll worry about later. It's tall enough that I don't need air conditioning at the moment and ventilator. I'll worry about that later. But for the permit's sake, we're here doing the energy calculations, and he says, you can't have that. And I go, what do you mean I can't have that? He goes, you can't have that. It will not pass the energy calculations. Right now, at least in the state of Florida, because of the NEC and because of the regulations, I basically cannot have, I cannot have 5 tons in my house because it doesn't call for that, because the house is so well insulated. And it's a stick frame house. I've got R13 in the walls R19 in the walls and R30 in the ceiling. Okay. And it's Central Florida. So what happens? One of the bigger AC is going to be 2-ton, and the smaller one is going to be 1.5 tons, and that's pushing it. So basically, I got 3.5 tons to usually the old calculation was every 500 square feet. Well, it's a 3,500 square foot house, so it should be 7 tons, right? You would think.
Yeah. But if you're doing zones, yeah.
They won't let me have that. He said, and I love this part. He says, well, we could do it if you buy yourself really poorly insulated windows, and if you cut down to R13 on the walls. And I go, so you're telling me if I waste money, then I could get a bigger AC? Well, that's not why I want the bigger AC. And I get it, and I understand completely. And here's the thing. Bottom line is, I trust the calculations. I've got a 5-ton here at home, and it's 3,300 square feet. But this is a concrete building. It was made in 1970. It is
not as well insulated. Well, okay, but that brings me back to the point with all of that insulation, whether you go 3-ton, 5-ton, 10-ton, or whatever, you can paint it any color you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, you're also in the midst of all those trees, man. That's shade on the building.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing that's beautiful about it.
So, Zach Manring, Southern Ginger, stopped by.
Oh, hey, Zach. I've been watching. I've been listening to his Facebook. Hey, Zach. As soon as I know, I've been vanished off the face of the earth to a certain degree. I'm still around, but and I still follow everybody. But when I get in the shop, be about a year and a half. I'm still. I was telling Mark we're working on the financing, but just about ready to start building. Well, I am ready. I'm just waiting on the financing. Soon as I finish the shop and move in, that's when woodworking goes 150%. That's when my time is a lot more free, and hopefully COVID's away, and we'll we'll get together with a get together. Hopefully the wood shows will come back, but at least we'll get together with a I'll be at the next Southern Ginger meetup whenever after in 2023. Just put me down.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw his most recent YouTube video. He put together a time lapse
of the
teardrop. Yeah, four years later, but that was cool.
Here's the funny part: when I saw him when he brought in the trailer the first time he brought it in at the woodworking show.
Yeah,
part of me was going, that's so cool. Part of me is going, and another part of me is thinking, damn it. 3 years ago, I had the same idea, but instead of buying a teardrop, I bought with $1,000 in 2015. I bought that shell, and I have the videos. So if it isn't on video, it's not. No, I did it before,
dude.
But I just didn't do it in the way and from start to finish like he did. His turned out absolutely spectacular.
It's a very good build. He's gotten
a lot of attention for it. So I'm envious of the build and the attention. But again, like a friend, I'm very admiration, and I'm happy.
Well, he did a very, very good build and very well executed. I have got so many different plans for teardrops. I am resisting the urge. And it seems like everybody I know over the last 5 or 6, 7 years is building a teardrop. And I am resisting. I just have no place to put it.
My issue is after buying that camper, I bought my 28-foot camper for $2,000. Okay. And $1,000, and I put in $2,000. Right. So I've got a total of $3,000 in it. And right now it'll turn around and probably sell for maybe 6,000 or 7,000, but it's fantastic. If I put some pinstriping and stuff on the outside with my machine, then it'll probably bump it up another 1,000. But anyway, I have used that, and I'm just so comfortable in the large space. Well, granted, I've been using it a lot to stay at the property, and you do need an extra space for that. It's not just going out camping for the weekend.
Right.
But when I think to a teardrop now, I mean, back then it would have been fun to go camping, but now if my wife and I, we do enjoy time sitting, relaxing, out of the weather. It's Florida. We get a lot of rain. So out of the weather a lot. And a teardrop, I'm thinking minimally, I will probably do something like maybe a 5x8, but full height, where you can walk inside the thing.
On a related note, my wife, she is a spinner, a weaver, a knitter, things like that. And she does a lot of demonstrations in period attire. She recently made sewed up by hand, a 17th century weaving and spinning working woman's outfit for these demonstrations.
Right.
And what she wants, we have to carry all of the stuff out there. I mean, her spinning wheels and various props and this, that, and the others. And she's wanting me to build a trailer to haul all that stuff in. And I have a trailer frame here. I'm ready to go. I need to move the axle, but that's no big deal.
Right.
So what I'm looking at doing is building a shepherd's wagon, with shepherd's hut, which is kind of sort of almost like the gypsy wagon, the Vardo type of gypsy wagon. Yeah. The only difference being the outer walls don't have that angle. They don't lean out. They do overhang the wheels on the trailer, but they don't lean outward. And traditionally, they were dual axle trailers where I only have a single axle. So there'll be that accommodation as well. The problem is I got no place to put it once it's done, because you don't want to store it outside in the weather. You want to put it in a garage or keep it covered. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's going to be down the road. I got to get this shop shed finished.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my build, but ultimately, I'm definitely going to buy a. I'm definitely going to buy a maybe something around 24 foot, 27. Same size, but a little more efficient.
Mhm.
But I looked at like half a dozen trailers, and for 17 grand, I can get one of those, and it weighs 3,800 pounds, which is like even 3,500. Mine weighs 8,600 pounds.
Yeah, well, look at everything you put in it.
Yeah. But
I
it's
mean,
not.
when you frame it with 2x4, it's gonna gain weight. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's there is some truth in if you're going to build it, overbuild it
Yeah,
until it's time to tow it.
until it's time to tow it.
You know, because I'm looking at something maybe with a max of 12-foot length. You know, it may not end up being that big, probably closer to 10 foot, but something that we can tow with the Jeep and not, you know, we do have the towing package, but it's still got a max capacity of 5,000. But I don't even like to get near that. I like to be able to move it around in my yard if I need to move to mow under it or mow around it or something like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, I like to be able to move it around the yard by hand. And currently I can do that.
A glove. Okay, one glove. Okay, granted, I had a job once. So this is the example of stuff that you have to throw away. This is something that a normal person, especially, you know, one of us, wouldn't throw away a glove. I mean, especially if we have a bunch of them and all this. I've got 24 sets of these gloves. They're a little snug because they're large and I'm extra large hands, but I got them from a painting job I did once where the guys basically brought in all the supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought, well, that's where I got all these tons of masking tapes. I still got, you know, I mean, rolls and rolls and rolls of, and again, not as much as Portal.
Sure.
But I'm looking at, they're maybe 4 or 5 years old. They're still good. They've been kept in air condition. But I'm looking at easily 50 rolls of blue, 50 rolls of white, and all different sizes each from this job. And I've been keeping these damn things. I like using the Hardy gloves and those comfortable and the leather gloves. And I have a set, which frankly I've been using for 2-3 years, and they haven't, I mean, they wear because I'm out in the landscaping, but this is going in the garbage because it's just, I keep moving it from one box to another. Never have any use for it.
Well, it's great for concrete work. You know, I mean, who cares if they match? If you've got 2 gloves, boom.
Yeah.
You know, who
Framing
cares?
square, gonna need that.
Yeah. Speed square.
Yeah, I was looking. I was looking at who was it that I forgot who it was. Oh, Inspire Woodworking. They actually did they ordered one from China, a speed square from China.
Right.
They got one from Woodpecker. Actually, Banggood gave them one from China. Woodpecker gave him one to review, and he bought a Milwaukee one from Home Depot, and he was comparing all 3, and it was a very good comparison of the stuff. I mean, frankly, for my purposes, I need 90-degree mark. Boom, have a nice day. I'm not going to be dealing with the rafters. They're all pre-made joists. I mean, I don't really need any. I mean,
I would just rough guesstimate 99% of people that use a speed square use it for making 90-degree cuts anyway. Yeah. So
and half the time the speed square is like 2 arms lengths away from me, but I just happen to have a block, a little piece of 2x4 that I just cut.
If you got a piece of the material that you just cut, there you go. You know,
it's funny.
Well, it's called. That's what we used to call when I was in the Army. We called that field expediency. So,
field expediency.
That's right.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, good times with the. Let me see what. Let me see. So okay, so
They're making trailer deals out in the chat.
sweet, sweet. 22 to 26-foot car hauler, Tatum axle, tandem axle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
Tatum Axel and her father Ryan Axel.
Yeah, there you go. Tatum and Ryan O. Axel. I
haven't thought about them in 30 years, man.
Well, that's bad news. Bad news bears. Anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, like one of the first purchases I'm going to make is the RK tractor, the small 24, with the loader, backhoe, excavator, grappler with the thumb, and box blade. That's it. And so I'm getting all those things. I'm buying it all together, but I'm waiting obviously till I start the project because there's no sense in paying for storage for something. Didn't
we have this discussion about 3 years ago when you ended up getting a zero turn instead?
Yes. And I do not regret my decision for the zero turn. Because there is no way that I've been able to maintain and run, and that zero turn has been.
Well, I got it. Yeah, I've props to that. I mean, that's a good little mower because
I'm mowing bamboo with it, for goodness sake.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if you've done a walk around of your property lately, but basically, it looks like a park. I mean, it really does. It looks very, very well maintained.
It is. It does, and I'm overjoyed with it. So what I want to do is now I did the price calculations. It would run me about the same amount of money to rent and possibly labor. Well, with labor, definitely more money, but to rent all the equipment I need for grading, septic, pavers. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're looking at 5,500 square feet of pavers. So, I mean, it's like all of this is and stump clearing and all that, well worth it to do it all myself with the machine.
Well, not only that, when you're done with it, you can sell it for a good price and recoup.
When I'm done with it, I'm going to keep it because here's the thing. One of my first purchases after this is not 100%, but I'm still trying to decide how I want to block both sides of the side with the four walls and the side with my rotten neighbor. I want to see how I can block visually so I don't, so I have privacy, and I was thinking a huge hedge.
Yeah, privacy hedge.
Nice. But if I have a huge hedge, it's 850 feet on either side. There's no way I'm going to see 800 times two sides times two sides. I mean, two sides of the bush and two sides of the property, plus the top. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at 8 times. That's 4,800 lineal feet of hedging. I'm not doing that with a little.
You don't buy something that you have to trim.
And well, I know, but it would be nice if I had something, because the property. Here's the thing with the property. I love my property, and it's nice and big, but it's long, and I don't want to say thin because it's 350 feet, and that's pretty wide, but those extra 10 or 20 feet on either side, if I don't want a bunch of overgrowth where I'm going to get a bunch of rats hiding out and this and that.
And that's what I'm getting at. You don't have to make one solid hedge. You kind of layer your landscaping so that they overlap depth-wise, and it just blocks vision.
I could do that too. But one solid hedge would be really cool if I had. It costs $3,500 for the 3-point attachment hedger. And all I got to do is just every 4-6 months, just drive it that way. It'll drive on top. It'll go on the side, and I'm done. And
yeah. I mean, you can. There are so many options when it
Yeah,
comes to
and
landscaping.
that's why I haven't decided on anything yet. There are so many options because I was thinking with the hedges. The thing is, every 4 months I can cut either the insides or the outsides because you know what happens once you cut the hedges, you could see through that side.
Well, if you layer evergreen plantings that don't die back, like for instance, there are certain species of yew trees that are nice and round, 6, 7, 8 foot tall, but they grow so slowly it wouldn't grow 6 inches in your lifetime. You know.
Hey, Al, how's it going? By the way, Al, if you scroll up, oh heck, I'll just put it here. If you want to join us, I'll let you in as well.
It's like
the issue.
Looks like Paul Stewart had to split.
What's that?
Looks like Paul Stewart and Zach Benry both had to split to get back to work. So.
Oh, okay. See you later, Paul. See you later. Who else was? Oh, and Ben.
Zach, Southern Ginger.
Yes, it's still, there's so many decisions, and the issue with a lot of these trees is there's 2 things I would like. Fast growing, because I don't want to spend tons of money on big, huge trees. I want something that, my cousins up there have a tree, and I think it's a podocarpus or something like that, but it is just like, I mean, in a matter of 2 months, it has grown up to 10 feet. From
that 4. You'll have to trim.
Yeah, exactly. Here's out. And then the
live long and perspire. What's up?
The second thing is zone 9. I mean, it's zone 9, so there's not a lot of trees that I don't want any. I want something evergreen all year round, and it's tough to get because it goes down to 30 and it goes up to 90.
One word for you, Javi.
What? Yeah.
One word for you. Bamboo.
Oh. You cut down a bunch of bamboo already. No. I've had enough of that.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
Yeah. Well, I could get clumping bamboo, but
you could get, yeah. What's shaking out?
Grading.
Grading? A slope or papers?
Actually, electronics, electronic labs.
Oh, okay.
Some digital stuff.
Sweet.
7400 series types and stuff.
Sweet.
But basic first lesson. Hey, this doesn't have a name on it. First lesson. Just some basic breadboarding.
Okay.
How to use breadboard and stuff. First and second labs. But I was just sitting here and was surfing and saw you guys were on and just thought I'd give the old live long and prosper.
Yeah, I popped in. He was cleaning up his shed, going through a box, and I said, he's like, "Oh, good, I got 3 empty boxes," and I'm like, "No, empty boxes are a trap because there's too much temptation to put stuff in them." And next thing I know, here I am. Oh, I'll give you a link, and poof.
I know. Well, I'm on lunch right now, so
yeah,
I kind of thought I'd just say hi and then boogie off. But
yeah, I'm waiting on weather. I'm in the middle of painting my shed. And we've been stuck on 30 degrees for the last 3 hours. I need 35 so I can get out there and paint.
Yeah, we're in the desert, and it's like I guess it's like 60 or 70 today, which is great. This winter has been so mild. It's amazing.
Well, we're supposed to get up to 40 today, but it ain't doing it over the last 2-3 hours. It's been stuck on 30. I'm waiting. Come on, man. Let's have a little bit of warmth here. The fog is burned off. I mean, it's time for a little bit of heat. I just need 35. Give me 35 so I can get out there and finish up the trim.
Yeah, 35, and I'm inside, sipping on some hot cocoa or other.
Get used to it. We lived in the Nevada desert for 15 years before we moved up here, but we were up in the high desert.
Yeah.
It rarely broke 100 degrees, but we were only 25 miles from Lake Tahoe, so we got snow quite often.
Yeah.
And
how close to Pahrump are you, or were you?
We were. It was about 7.5 hours
okay.
away.
Well,
Yeah, it was way at the southern end of the state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I used to get that all the time when I lived there. We lived up near Reno, and folks are like, "Hey, we're going to be in Vegas next week. You want to come by for lunch?" I'm like, "No." Like, well, I'm like, "Well, okay, you live in Connecticut. Do you ever drive to Jacksonville for lunch?"
Right.
And they're like, "No." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, that's the same for me. It's
Yeah,
an 8-hour drive." So
people tell me all the time, "Hey, I'm going to be in Texas."
Yeah.
Where are you going to be in Texas? Oh, we're going to be in Houston. Yeah, that's 12 hours away.
Yeah.
Yep, I hear you. Yeah, when they go to the Panhandle over here from Miami to
Right.
Pensacola,
Right. Exactly. I've driven that.
drive.
I've driven that. Yeah. And luckily, normally I go through and just stop at Lakeland, which is like the upper third maybe of the state.
Well, the funny part is, in a year and a half, when I'm up there, when you stop at Lakeland, let me know.
Well,
if we're there,
an hour from me.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to have to jump off. I'm getting, I've got a project coming up in February, doing a collaboration with Vectric, and I got a PM I got to jump into with one of the guys. So
have fun. Yeah.
I will catch you guys a bit later on. Have a happy one. Take care, Javi. And remember, empty boxes are a trap. There's too much temptation to refill them.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Sell them
suckies. Fill them up now.
Have a good one. Take care, y'all.
Bye, Mark.
Later, Mark. Yeah. By the way, Frankie, I'll definitely take a look at that because I would like to see Daryl fixes all with regular teeth. Because that is a scary thing. Jimbo, good old poop. Oh man. Well,
really, Javi, I'm not going to stick around too much. Too, I've got work to do. I mean,
yeah. I'm probably half an hour away from closing up myself. I'm happy. I got what I wanted done. I've got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes, and I've got 1, 2. Where's the third one? 8 boxes. I got 2 left. So I've cleared out a lot of stuff.
The boxes I feel normally get stacked up, and then years later I'm going, oh, this is some really cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah, this is what I'm going through it now. And look, I found okay. This is kind of funny, but all right. So I have this Porter cable sander, belt loop sander, and 5-inch hook and loop orbital, variable speed orbital sander, and the pad, as they do, wore.
They come off, yeah.
And they come off and they, ripped off. So I put it in a box, figure I'll fix it one day. And then I bought 3. Since then, this is my first one ever. Since then, I bought 3 of the on sale, the $16.
Yeah. Black & Deckers.
So I could have the $16 sanders, square sanders, from Harbor Freight, so I can have a different grit on each one.
Gotcha.
That turned out to be pretty impractical. I got them stored away in a box somewhere. Since then, I bought a DeWalt because I couldn't find my Porter cable. Well, I knew my Porter cable was broken, so I bought a DeWalt. That DeWalt had long since deteriorated, so I put it in a box and bought another one. And then I bought a third DeWalt because I was up there and it was down here.
Right.
So, one day I brought all of my sanders up there. Not the Harbor Freight. They're still. I think I threw them away. I don't know. Anyway. I brought all my really good orbital hook and loop sanders up to the property, and I was staying there about 2 weeks. I ordered for about $4 each. The pads. They come with the screws and everything.
Yeah.
Replaced all of them, and now I have all brand new freaking sanders.
Yes. I kind of looked into getting a pad to replace. I think it was a Black & Decker. It was a cheapo Black & Decker, but still good enough.
Yeah.
I went back down to Walmart, bought another one. Okay, I'll replace the pad on this one, and still haven't replaced it. No, so it's I've got the two, and yeah, I hear you. And it's the same as the hook and loop. I really like those too. You just and you're good. You know?
Oh yeah. And whenever I find a good deal on the hook and loop, I buy them, figuring, I'm going to need them.
Right.
And I've got a black and yellow box filled with sandpaper, mostly hook and loop.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to, again, this is all coming to fruition. When I have the space and I have the shop, I will have everything in order. So now I can actually throw stuff away and work toward my minimalist future. And little by little, I'll have everything. I'll never have to buy anything.
Yeah, right.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Oh,
it
good
doesn't
Lord.
work out that way, do they, Al?
Right. Well, it is my turn to take off. I'm gonna actually go get some food and stuff, and sit here and grade while I eat. It's really not really hard. It's just a matter of annotating it, putting it into the grade book. I've already basically, given the check on you're good to go. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna start clearing out some stuff here that I know I'm never going to. Look at this. I'll give you one example. If I can pull it out. I've got here. Okay, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of them. And it's like I can't bring myself to throw them away.
What are they?
They are trophies.
Oh, were you engraving them for people, or?
Well, that's just it. They're blank trophies.
Yeah.
I had them, I still have the Miami Herald contract that I engrave for the Silver Knight Awards and stuff like that. But they have long since passed giving away cups. Before, they used to give cups all the time. And it was like 12 cups a year. So I'd always had, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I got 5 of them. 12 cups a year, and they come in a pack of 24. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they break. Sometimes they need them redone. And over the years, whenever I need them, I buy the case because it's half the price per cup for the case. Right. And well, I don't mind saying now because it's long since gone. I charge them $60 for each cup, and they run about $4. Obviously, I got to spend the time and the effort and have the engraving equipment. Yeah. But $4.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how long do you take on them?
Not long at all. I could do it from one day to the next.
Okay, so in a day, 60 times.
How long exactly? Maybe once it's set up, I could probably knock out 30 in 1 minute. 30 in a batch of 30 in about an hour's time. Mm-hmm. So 1 every 2 minutes. That's setting up takes an hour. So maybe an hour and a half tops. Yeah. Just to do 1 or 30.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
But you got to calculate that is the point, I mean,
yeah. What I got to do now is, and this is some of the stuff that's going to a separate section in my shop. That, I mean, I've got a lot of leftover awards from my engraving days. A lot of them. I got a lot of material, but the material I could use to invent stuff and to have, and that'll be fun. Plexiglass and plastic and all that. I come up. Well, look at the hobby boxes. There's the front of the hobby boxes are here. I'll bring one of these old ones out. This is basically this is a piece of wood with an engraving plate in front of it. Mm-hmm. So I engrave it, I cut it, and all that, and so a lot of the stuff I could use, but a lot of the stuff, I've got probably $2,000 or $3,000 worth of inventory still since I, closed that part of the business, the awards part. So I might as well
hang around
on eBay, $20 here, $20 there, $20 here, $20 there. Right now, my time is too valuable to spend doing onesies and twosies. But when I get to the shop and I have some extra time and everything's all organized and I can do a batch at a time, I'll put 10 of them up, make $200 like that. And, that's the plan. So I could turn that $2,000 into $10,000, but I can't do it, with when you have no space, when you have no.
Right.
You know how it is. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, I do.
And it's difficult because how do you decide? Because you look at it and you go, oh, five boxes of cups. I could throw them away and I'm just losing $20. No big deal. And I could buy them again, but it's like part of you is thinking, yeah, but if you look at the whole, it's $2,000 worth of product that I'm throwing away.
Yeah. Or you can also think about how much storage space is this taking up and how much is this really is costing me, even though it's not costing me anything.
It is costing. It is costing when it comes to storage space. And that's exactly right. How much storage space is it costing me? Right now, I've got extra storage space up there. I'm moving the stuff little by little up there. Because I have to buy a certain size for the tractor and for the mower. But the tractor and the mower don't take up, they just, so I built a little tunnel for the tractor and mower, but the rest of the stuff, I've got boxes up there. I've got tools, I got different things in those locations. So I've got space.
Mm-hmm.
And once I build the steel building, I don't want to say space is unlimited, but at that point, it's not in the way anymore. So the plan is, look, I'm going up there. I've got space in my trailer. I've got space in my storage. It's not going to cost me $20 to pack this up, put it in a box, and put it over there. That's hardly an expense of my time. If it was, I'd throw it in the garbage.
Right. Jim's making a really good point. He's saying that my mess costs me the chance to work in my shop. And that's exactly the problem I have, Jim. Exactly. But anyway.
And I would agree that the mess cost me that, but for me it's more than that, because that's when if you guys saw my first few Make Room for Hobby videos, hoarding to boarding, if you will, those were the videos where the first few episodes, this is way before I bought the property, I was intent on doing just that, clearing out the crap and making space for my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had 2 warehouses. I no longer have 2 warehouses. Here in Miami. So I cleared out space of 2 warehouses, but also in doing so, I filled up this place. Bottom line is, after all that organization, I would say about 30% of the stuff that I have is or 25% of my space is crap or
clutter,
sellable stuff that I could do away with. Yeah. But the other 75%, and here's the sad part, 75% of the volume of my current shops and rooms is tools.
Mm-hmm.
Like a CNC that takes up a good portion, like this vacuum, dust collector, like this drill press. Bottom line is, I don't have enough, even without all the stuff here, and I did all the calculations and I figured it all out to see whether I should throw it away or not. Because I threw away a lot. Should I throw away the last of it? Well, it doesn't make any difference. I'm just throwing away money at this point because in the end, all my tools occupy so much space that I can't work with my tools.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's kind of stupid, but throw the tools away.
No, Jeff, do not throw the Amiga 2000 computer away. If if you want, I will keep it for you in safe hiding. Okay. Do
Yeah.
not throw it away. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. I really need to get back to the taking care of stuff. So, you guys be good. Javi, I'll catch you next Saturday.
Yep, I will see you
everyone
Saturday.
else out there, no matter what you do it just for fun, guys. Bye.
But yeah, I'll tell you. Amigas are great. If you have an old Apple II, I'll gladly take that off your hands. That's in fact, I'd probably pay for that. Not too much, but I'd pay for that because that's nostalgia for me. And I wouldn't mind having an Apple II set up just to run old stuff. I know you can do it virtually, but there's nothing like it. The older you get, the more nostalgic you get. That's what happens. All right. So now I found out that I have extra boxes of space. So I'm going to start clearing out this room a little bit more, emptying out a little. And let's go ahead and start doing that. Let's see how you guys doing out there. You have three Amiga 2000 computers. Yeah, I wouldn't mind an Amiga 2000. That's a great computer. That's throwback, but it's a great little reminder of the past. I'll say that. Yeah, the sad part with these is they take up too much space, and you can't easily pack them in a box. But well, it is what it is. Let's see what we can do here. Good. I can put them sideways. Okay, 3 of them there. Now I'm just going to have to put some stuff in them. You have a Heathkit H8. Oh, wow, what a trip. Scanner and a Roland sign cutter that works on Amiga. Ha! That's fantastic. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, these are good. I have a, let's see, a sign cutter that works on Amiga. Hey. Is this LED? No, it is not. See, okay, there you go, guys. About to throw something away. Look at that. Ooh, it's not LED. I don't like it. Garbage. Although I got to tell you, part of me wants to reach into the garbage can and undo these 2 screws so I can grab this. Yeah, I'm going to do that. See my problem, folks? See my problem. The license plate holder is more valuable to me than the lamp is. Ooh, a money belt. I haven't used a money belt since the Santa's Enchanted Forest days. Too funny. Okay, power cord. I know where to put those. I had those up here. Yeah. Power cord. Okay.
Best choice when I rented a dumpster was to have the neighbor throw the stuff we knew to keep the tools, and the rest was to choose what to toss. Yeah, that is a good way to go about it. Okay, where am I? Empty box. Why do I have an empty box? There I am. Colored grease pencils. It's one of those things, guys, that I just don't know where to begin. Don't know where to begin. Found your welder when you cleaned. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, good. Got power. I was looking for that puppy. All right. Glue sticks don't belong there. They belong over here. There we go. Paint can just doesn't belong anywhere. Neither does the red. But I'll get to it. Ooh. Making my way in here, making my way in here. Tools. More packing tape. Software for the Amiga was called Signworks. It was written by a commercial sign shop in Canada. Signworks. You know, that sounds awful familiar because I had something similar. I wonder if it's the same program. Okay. Oh, wow. See, these are the kind of things that you find when you're not looking. See this, folks? I don't know if you can see that. That is a minute hand, and I have minute hands, second hands, and hour hands for a bunch of clocks that I used to have, and I've got the boxes of clocks over there. So clearly the clocks are missing their hands. That's good to have there. That's good to have here. Instruction manual for Apple here. You know, these kind of things, it's just I'm sticking them all in one big box because eventually they're all going to have little drawers up there. And it's just it's upsetting. It's just overall upsetting is what it is. Oh, look, another one. Oh, another 3. All right. Let's get another box. See what I can do with this. 1, 2, 3.
put it up big to see it. Sometimes I'll buy some junk from Harbor Freight thinking I'm going to last 2 years. Yep. Cheap grinder from Harbor Freight lasted longer than 2 Porter cable ones. Sometimes it works that way. Sometimes it definitely works that way. That works. All right, what's next? Ooh, this is air compressor oil. Make sure when I put that in there, it doesn't leak, as it were. This is garbage. Whew. Man, I'm telling you guys, it's just a lot of work staying neat. All right. Got a piece of plexi here. That can go in storage because I don't need it here. This can be put away. There we go. Ah, good. Good idea. Diet Coke, break it in. It's just, there's so many things that you don't want to throw them away, but okay, perfect example. I got a bunch of terminal blocks here, right? That's something that I use regularly in electronics, but what it's doing here is beyond me. That's not beyond me. Plas plugs. I don't know if you guys have ever had the Plas plug sharpening kit. You know, I've got 2 of them here. And I've got plenty of accessories for them. So they are clearly all getting put away. Okay, I don't need that. That's good paper. All right, that one's done. Oh boy, that's heavy. Oh yeah, I can't put that away because I need those. Yeah. Yep. Gotta get rid of stuff little by little. Can't go crazy. Okay. Hey, check this out, folks. This is from my old sign day. Days. This is my Speedy Signs and Engraving catalog. You guys can't really see much of it. I guess you could see a little bit, but you know, all the different stuff that I used to. 2007. I am keeping that for nostalgia's sake, that's for sure. Just saying. If I can fit it in here. There we go. All right. Oh, look at this. Got a bunch of them. Good. You talk about nostalgia. Check this out. Ooh. This is my Speedy Signs and Engraving business card from the old shop. Super, super thick. I'll keep it just a little while longer. Just a little while longer. Just long enough to putting all the zip ties in one area. In case you're wondering what I'm doing here. I'll keep it just a little longer, just in case so I could scan it. You know, eventually I'll scan them, but rubber bands are dead. They're no good anymore. They're all crunchy and stuff. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is not. Wow. This is an old, it's useless now. It's an old re-inkable pad. It was actually my Notary Public stamp from expires in 2011. How's that for, you know, ancient? Make some DIN rail brackets for a demo panel for work. Oh, sweet. All right, let's see what we got here. I've got more disposable gloves that you can dispose here in a year. Oh, that one's no good. All right, so fisherman trophy, garbage. Another fisherman trophy. Another fisherman trophy. Another one. Another one. These things are worth like 20, 30 cents. This is definitely not worth keeping. A monstrous girl softball trophy. I don't need anything that big. Another fisherman. This one I may reuse. It's a baseball one, but I can actually reuse that one. Well, that one went rather quickly. Good, good, good. Oh, sweet. You see, I've had, for the longest time, I've had, for my hobby boxes, rather than buying these plugs, I've had tons of them. Now I found some more. I've yet to buy one plug yet. Everybody that's gotten a hobby box has gotten a not refurbished, but rather a plug that Well, a plug that I've either used or just had from spare from my computer days. Yeah. All UL listed. And all saving everybody money. Every CNC controller has a decent plug on it. There's another one. And there's another one. Whoo-wee. You start organizing and you get more than you bargained for, I'll tell you that much, guys. Sign and embroidery shop flooded. Ooh. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. That hurts when you got a flood in your embroidery shop. Let's see here. Oh boy. I don't know where to begin, guys. I just don't know where to begin. I'll tell you where I'll begin. An empty Diet Coke can. That's a good place to begin. A full Diet Coke can. August 9th of 20. Darn shame, isn't it? Darn shame. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, folks. You got to do what you got to do. All right. I think I'm going to take a little break in a little while. Got some more trophies up there. I've never been able to reach them, which is why I haven't. See, what do we got? 2 o'clock? Yeah. Still got 20 minutes. Let's see what else we got up here. It's labeled brass scrap. Sure enough, it's brass scrap. You know what? It's all going, there we go, to the new place. So all right, that's garbage. That's the end of that drawer. Good. That's going to be a little heavy, I think. No, not too bad. Okay. Now the flooded with water. Yeah, that's a good question. All right, let's grab the next one. Wow. This is truly sad. I've got an ink cartridge here for a printer that I haven't had in over 10 years. And this also, 10 years. This also, 10 years. ribbon cable. Remote control alarm system here. Key rings, a bunch of key rings. A bunch of tacks. Oh boy. Tacks and little screws. I love picking that up. Look at this, folks. The new Yankee workshop. Plans for the miter bench that's right over there. And I'm probably going to build one, so I'm keeping that. I'm probably going to build one over there. The best of the Alan Parsons Project. Katie Lang. Benny and June. Oh man, these are some good CDs. I don't know if they'll last in this box, but I'm just going to leave them here. Weird Al Yankovic. Oh, that's heavy. Whatever it is. Ooh, waterproof connectors. That's good. Bunch of brass and plastic. Brass is heavy. See, what do you got over there, guys? Norm, who came in? Not even going to search through this one. Video splitter. Old PC fans. That's the kind of stuff that'll get dumped eventually. All right, folks. Well, let's see. What else we got around here? Well, let's see. That's up there. Let's see what's up there. Whoa, that's heavy. Okay. A marble base for a trophy. Scratched. Garbage. A soccer ball. 2 parts. Garbage. Little trophy parts, like just complete garbage. Oh, these bases are good. They're solid wood, and if I don't use them for bases, I'll use them for something else. That's no good. That's no good. That's definitely no good. These are no good. This is no good. And all of this is good. I don't know about you guys, but have you ever, started cleaning a place and just every now and then run into just a mind block and go, I don't know where to go next. I don't know where to go next. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Don't know where to go next. I'm grabbing one at random, and that's pretty heavy already. Here's one that says rulers. It's Velcro, for one thing. Oh, rulers. See, one thing I used to make with my these little plastic see-through rulers, speedy signs and engraving, these will come in handy. I go through those all the time. This, no good. I don't need that. Let's see. Florida International University. I engraved a plaque with a degree on it. It's garbage. Bank. Garbage. This is good. What's this? Laser something or other. Nope. It's an ink pencil for my plotter. I've got 2 or 3 plotters, and medical gas. Ooh. I used to make all types of signs, folks, all types of signs. Wow, I had a lot more rulers than I thought I did. It's good. Because I'll use them. Where will I use them? I'm not going to be able to carry this box. I'll catch you later, Jim. Have a... no, did you say you're off? Oh, it said LOL Jeff. Wow, I am really in bad need of new glasses, and I just got these. I don't need syringes right now for inking system. I don't know why I'm putting them away. I just... Ah, look at this, a wooden ruler. Ooh. Don't take any wooden rulers, folks. And with that, that one is done. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I'm going to close this one up. That's why I'm watching you now. Just to, yeah. That's a wise thing to do. Believe me. All right, so let me stack these over by the door because I'm going to have to move them all soon to the trailer. Take them with me. Okay. Look at all this extra space. Oh, boy. I'm going to sit for a bit. I'm going to sit for a bit. Yeah. I'm looking forward to clearing out a little bit more here and moving it all out there. Because eventually all of this is going to be cleared out. This area. Oh, man, let me show you what this area is that I'm pointing at. So this is the this is what I've been clearing out, folks. Get this stupid thing to actually stay. Here we go. This is what I've been clearing out. Okay, see, I'm relatively organized to a certain degree, you know, and so I've cleared out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 of these drawers. Still have a few left, but some of them I'm doing a lot of stuff with them. I still have to clear out, obviously, the desktop. This right here, believe it or not, this everything from here down is Norm Abrams's miter station. At least it started to be. I never finished the drawers underneath, and I never finished the trim here. You know, it's one of those, you know, round to it things. By the time I was completing it, I think that was about the time back about 10 years ago that I got into CNC and just left this as I needed to clear out another room, so I left this one full of stuff. And occasionally it'll get cleaned out, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, I'm working on that. Oh, what's the story with the nasty neighbor? Oh, I'll tell you this. Well, let's see.
Let me come back here. And, all right, so let me see. Did you sell your containers on the property? Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how much of it you know, Jim, but the story of the nasty neighbor is basically September of 2019. I bought a container. I've had my RV on the property and I've been clearing out, and I decided let me get a container because I got electric and well in there. It was just shortly after I got electric, so I got a container to store a bunch of stuff and have it for construction purposes. Well, 7 months later, in April, I'd been talking to my neighbor and I thought he was a nice guy. That was my mistake. Either that or he's 79. I mean, he's 79 years old. So either that or his mind is so addled that he's just bipolar. And he used to work in the CIA. Okay. So there's a lot going on with that guy. And, he's always a serious old, I don't know. Nothing like the other four neighbors on the other side. Nothing like them. The others are very friendly. One of them keeps to himself, or two of them. That's fine. I hi, bye, have a nice day. And this one, to a certain degree, kept to himself, but he was always coming over and asking me, "What are you doing now? This one?" And me, I'm a social guy, so I have conversations with him and ask his opinion on things. And sometimes I take his opinion, sometimes I don't. It's funny because I've had to get a tree guy for to eliminate a tree and I've had to get a well guy, and I've had to get different people. And each time I ask my neighbors, "Hey, do you know a guy?" Because that's what you do. And I ask my cousins also, because they're they're half an hour away, but they're in roughly that neighborhood. A lot closer than I am in Miami. And so what happens? So every time he's given me somebody, I have no doubt that it's somebody of character and all that. But the people he gives me are ridiculously expensive. Either this guy is completely, filthy rich or he doesn't really care about the value of money, because he gives me people, he tells me, "Oh, I know this tree guy that does this and this and this and that." I call the tree guy, and the tree guy wants like $2,500 for the same job that it costs $400 from this other tree guy. My buddy Doug, my other neighbor, the nice one, he's recommended well people. He's recommended tree guys. He's recommended all sorts of people, and everyone has come through at a ridiculously low price, at a reasonable price, at a normal price, And "Oh, did you call this guy for the well?" "Yeah, I called him for the well. He wanted $7,000 for a well. I paid $3,800, plus a few more feet, so it came out to and stuff. So it came out to like $4,000. But I mean, crazy prices. $7,000, and that was for the first 100 feet. And if it goes beyond that, no thanks. Okay, so what happens? We have a friendly relationship, or I thought we had. Hey, we wave to each other. He comes over, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's always very, very serious and stuff. And me, I'm always very happy, me. And then one day, out of the blue, in April of 2020, he says, "Hey, that's against code. That's not allowed here." And I go, "Wait a second. I told you I was putting it on here." I didn't know about any code at the time. I told you I was putting it on here. You said, it was fine and stuff. And it's a temporary thing, because as soon as I build a house, obviously I didn't need the container. Although for a while there I was thinking, should I leave it or should I not leave it? It's not a big deal. It's a 5-acre lot. It's a tiny 40-foot container.
So on 5 acres. There's a guy across the street who has 2 or 3, and there are all over Lake County. There's a bunch of those containers. So I never thought anything of it. Bought it, threw it up on the property. 7 months later, he saw it. He saw me. He took a tour of the thing. He sees me go in and out. 7 months later, out of the blue, that's not allowed. And I go, well, let me call. And I called and they said, well, you're right, it's not allowed. And they're giving me a couple of options, one of which is to build a pole barn. I didn't want to build a pole barn. I think that's ugly as heck, and I don't want to waste my time and money building a pole barn, and all this. So I go, well, I'll see what I can do. Didn't think anything of it. Go home. That was when my visit in April. A week later, I get a letter from the county telling me that the container's illegal and I have to be removed within 120 days to remove it. And the RV was illegal, because I'm not building anything yet. So when I start building and have a permit, I can put one out there, but not until then. Basically, the letter said remove the RV within 30 days. I said, they said 7 to 10 days, but I called the guy who was real nice. The county's really, really helpful. So I have no problem with the county. And the county basically said, the guy from the county said, okay, no problem. You have 120 days to remove the container. I'll give you, how long do you need for the RV? And I go, so I'm not going to be there for another 3 or 4 weeks. So I'll gladly remove it after that. And it says, no problem. So the guy said, no problem, no problem. I removed the RV, the container, finally about in 90 days or so. I think it took, it was, they gave me till December 12th or something like that. And I removed it November 1st, something like that, or October 2nd. I don't know when. I sold it for more money than I purchased it for. So I lucked out, even with all the stuff I did to it. I put an AC, I put a partition, the office, the floor. So I was happy. One guy came by. He had a couple days to figure out how to get it, but they came by, they picked it up. When he picked it up, now this whole entire time, if I don't know if you guys heard I was a little upset, but I'm going, who could have possibly reported me? The most likely scenario was that guy, but it could have been anybody. It could have been somebody driving by. It could have been just the county looking by. I didn't know for sure until the day of I suspected, but I still gave him the benefit of the doubt. My wife is going, no, I don't want you talking to him anymore. I don't want our family associated with him anymore. And went as far as to say, if they pass away, I don't want you to lend a hand. Be Christian. She's we will do that. But basically, she cut all ties, and she's very, very, and me, Mr. Nice Guy, I'm an extremist. I'm super, super, super friendly and nice and believe everything you have to say until the point that I don't. And then there's no middle ground for me. There's no gray. Right now, that neighbor is not only dead to me, but if he does pass away, I will not lift a finger to help the family. It's that. That's how pissed I am at him shoving his nose in my business. But that's just my anger. I will not do anything against him at all. That's not me. But I will not lift a finger to help. That's also not me. But whereas all the other guys in the neighborhood, they know how helpful I've been for everything. Anyway, so what happens? The RV too. The RV was, they gave me 30 days. I moved the RV. So now I'm paying money to stay in a state park. I'm paying money to store all the stuff that I had in the container, building materials and stuff for the new house. And then, and all this because of one douchebag decided to butt his nose into somebody else's business because it was not his business. It's my property. What the hell? It's a rural property as well. Okay, so what happens? He the day of the pickup comes, he picks it up, and I see him on my phone. Oh, by the way, shortly thereafter, I mean, shortly after the container, because I didn't know who it was, but I finished the fence on that side. So now there's a permanent fence between us. And I see him leaning his iPad, filming the guy removing. I don't know what mental state this guy was in. This guy's really lost it. Really lost it. He's vindictive. He's a mean person, and he's lost it. And he's here filming with his iPad. Now I happen to be filming with my phone, and he goes to me. So I'm filming on the other side. He didn't see me filming, so I put down my camera in my pocket. I forgot to turn my camera off, so it was still recording. I went over and walked over to the pole. You know, he saw me walking over to him right away. He picked up his iPad and started walking away in a huff. And I said, Richard, were you the one? I just went straight out. Richard, were you the one that called the county on me? And he goes, damn right I did. And I go, why? And I still no freaking clue as to why someone would do something that mean is the only word I can come up with. Just plain mean and vindictive. And not vindictive because there's nothing to be nothing to vindicate. You know, it's just mean. Outwardly mean. And he goes, you're damn right I did. And I go, why? He goes, because that shouldn't be here. And I said, I told you it wasn't going to be here. And he wouldn't even have it. You're a liar. I don't know what the hell was going through his mind. Because at one time I said I may keep the container there, but that was well before I found out it was illegal. Clearly, if it's illegal, I'm not going to. But it was going to be there for where am I going to keep my construction supplies? Well, so what happens? He's walking away in a huff. He just brushes me off like this, and he goes, go back to Miami with your kind. Back to your kind, were his exact words. I know I've listened to him 3 or 4 times on the audio because I have him on audio. And so you know, basically, go back to Miami with your kind. You know, I didn't realize he was a racist, but it is what it is. You know, things sometimes surprise you. The rest of the area is absolutely fantastic, and so you know, I mean, the whole area is Republican, and as am I. So I mean, it's nothing to do with politics. It's just plain. This guy is an a-hole. Bottom line. And so my mom, I was cracking up, Jim, because my mom said, "Well, you know, it is what it is." And he goes, and now I don't know. My mom's she's old, but she said something to me which I found kind of funny. He goes, you know, I think my brother said, you know, he should go to hell. And I said, and my mom said, no, never wish anybody to go to hell. You can wish them dead, but you do not wish them to go to hell. And I thought that was a little strange. You can wish somebody dead. I don't believe you should do either, but that was funny. That was funny. Basically, he and his family, you know, I had originally, see, there are certain things that you plan for in the future. My brother, I don't know, he's lately he's been a little overwhelmed. He's a little anxiety ridden and stuff like that. And there's a possibility that if one of my parents die, the other one will be living with me. I made room for that. I plan for every contingency that you can. So I made the house big enough so I could have, you know, my mom, if she needs to spend her days there and stuff, you know, We don't believe in homes. We believe in like hospice, and if the person's so far off that we have to sacrifice our lives to take care of them 24/7. I mean, I love my parents, and I will go visit them every day, but there's going to have to be a nurse, because that's a little too much. That's a little too much sacrifice for my family, from any one of us. So this is true of my wife's mom, of my mom or dad and stuff. However, I will take care of them in my own way, whether it's getting them a place or whatever. But I mean, they're fine now where they are, both my parents, but counting the futures, not far away. They're almost 80, both of them. And so I planned for that. My brother as well. I mean, I do have a pool house in the making. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but God forbid, let's put it this way, if any of my family need a place to stay, I've got that covered. And similarly, I've already noticed a couple of the people in the neighborhood, when they get old, hey, Bob, good to see you. And hello. When they get old, I was just telling Jim the story of the bad neighbor, of the racist neighbor, and so there are people in the neighborhood. It's a rather 50s and up neighborhood. It's a whole retirement, area. So now I'm the guy that, and this has happened 3 times before in my past. This happened to my wife. Sorry, twice before. It's happened to my wife and it's happened to me, where my family had a bad neighbor. The husband died, and then all of a sudden the wife was these are such good neighbors because we take care of them. We go out of our way. Same thing happened to my wife. My wife had a lousy neighbor. He died. His wife. My wife's family would be, we're good people, and that's probably what's going to end up happening here. I don't know, but can't happen soon enough. But anyway, I got to tell you, it's getting to the point that I just, let them fend for themselves. Let their kids figure out, where to stick them when they're alone. Because when one passes away, I'll tell you, when God forbid I go first, my wife, I mean, she's taken care of by my girls, so that's no problem. But it's always good to have good neighbors around. We found a couple good. We found 2 sets of good neighbors in that area already. We've had dinner with them. We're sharing stories. It's fantastic. And God forbid anything would happen to one of them, I'm there for the other one. And likewise, if my wife passes away, I'm going to be living the rest of my life over there, and it is what it is. I've got family over there. I've got my daughters, and I've got some good neighbors. The other side, they're getting a wall of trees. Apparently they want to remain by themselves. They want to remain isolated. I don't know. Maybe being in the CIA so long has just rattled his brains, and I don't know. Maybe it's just a story. Maybe the guy is a complete liar, and it's just a story, to threaten, because people do that. People lie, I don't know. I've heard, there's another neighbor in the neighborhood who is just, I don't want to associate with them. They're not the nasty neighbor, but there's another one who, him and his wife, they seem to get along fine, but he shares things, and luckily they don't know about my channel, or I wouldn't be admitting this. But let's put it this way: infidelity rages in there, and I'm not going to be a part of that. So, and another one's a rental that I've never gotten to know. But other than that, I know the other 3 good neighbors, the one bad one rental, and the one polygamist. Those are my neighbors. Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing around here. Um, this was so nice when 20 years ago when I moved in here. I had Steve next door. I still keep in touch with him. He lives in Bradenton. I have Carlos, still lives there, but he's on his way out. He's got, he's sick, and his daughter has the place now with her new baby and husband, and he's on his way to move up north. I got there's Carlos, and Carlos were up front. So Carlos, another one, he moved. Another Carlos, he got divorced and he moved. But I still keep in touch with all of them. Steve more than ever. Steve, every couple months. The rest of them maybe once a year. We were that close. Now, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way because I am also a Latin Cuban family. There's a Cuban family living across the street from me now. There's a Cuban family living next door to me. There's another Cuban family on the corner. So it is a completely different neighborhood from the one there's a difference between the Cuban Americans of the 1960s, of which I am one, or the 1970s, and the ones of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. It is a different culture. I'm not saying good or bad or anything and stuff. It's a different culture, and I'll leave it at that. And I cannot relate to the newer immigrants, because the older immigrants were basically acclimated and Americanized, if you want, still remember the bicentennial moment and things like that. But anyway, well, Jim, oddly enough, funny you should say that, that the area I'm moving into has the highest STD rate for older people. That was actually a PR gimmick. That is absolutely not true, because I did some research into that, because I wanted to pass that joke around, but I'm not going to pass a joke around and promulgate something that wasn't true. And sure enough, it is not by any means true. It is the largest national United States retirement community. It is not by any means the highest STD rate. Not at all. Not at all. It's funny though. But there's a while the board was trying to get people in to the villages, and then he's talking about the villages, which is the city right next to us, and the villages. It's 55,000 people, mostly old people. 55 and up community. It's practically it's 3 counties. So it's part of 3 counties. So it's not really one specific county. But the city itself is 55,000, the population, and it's whereas Lady Lake is 17,000, and those 55,000, they joked about being the highest STD rate, and that was only, believe it or not, supposed to be a PR gimmick to bring in more people. Because, people would figure, well, if it's the highest STD rate, that means it's the highest sex rate. You know what? I can go there for the sex and just be careful and not catch an STD is probably their thoughts. I don't know. It's just a bunch of people. It's really cool, though. Yeah. No, I don't know if Jerry started it. I don't know if it was Jerry or possibly me, because I had heard it from my cousin up there, because she would joke around about it. She lived in Howie, now in Tallahassee, and she would joke about the old people. It's the highest STD, and I wasn't sure. And then I saw an article, and then I saw a bunch of articles debunking that article, and I kept reading, and it was just so funny. It's so funny. But oh boy, do I got a lot of work ahead of me. But that's a good thing, I suppose. It's possible. It's very, very possible, Jeff. Yeah, it's very possible. I don't know what it is. I know it's not the. I know it's definitely not the Village. I think they were maybe in the top 30, but not by any means the top one. Maybe even in the top 50. I don't know, but yeah. Well, regardless, when I'm happily married, and at my age, after till death do us part, and after that, I have never say never, and I don't know what happens in the future, but I have no plans to remarry or anything. Just enjoy my woodworking, enjoy my friends, and have a nice life, that kind of thing. But yeah, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. All I know is as far as the racist neighbor is concerned, he's not going to live much longer. I mean, that is a certainty. That is a certainty. He's gotten, according to him, he's gotten cancer a couple of times, skin cancer. He said it was from a philodendron, which was, which leads me to believe that his stories are not true, because I'm a naive person. I tend to believe people at their word. But this guy, he everything I've heard him say, none of it has been exactly accurate. He told me that one of the trees that I know not to be a cherry tree is a cherry tree, and at this point, and I for a while there I believed him, and I actually had a friend of mine, an arborist, go by there because there's no freaking way that's a cherry tree. Look at the leaves, look at the bark, so yeah, no swinging for me. I'm too old and some things don't work. Well, the Villages is the land of Viagra, I suppose. I don't know. I'm still luckily I'm 55, still haven't had a need for it, so I'm happy with that. But love and attraction to your significant other plays a huge part. So that's a beautiful thing. And well, with that, folks, I think I'm going to grab a little afternoon snack of some sort. Maybe a milkshake before dinner. And I'll bid you guys, I'll bid you guys a fond adieu, as I'm just going to pack up these boxes and relax for a while. You guys have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll do this tomorrow again for a little while. Good night, guys. I'm off. I don't know what the delay is, but I'll wait for a few seconds in case you guys are saying some last minute things. See you, Jim. See, that's the delay. I just got that message. That's how long it takes for me to see something. And good night, all.